money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow.
She told my love that love. She talks out the coco. She want know the coco. Yeah. But I want to give you some love. She talks out the coco. She still want know the coco. Yeah. If money no day, now wait till she get no. She tell me say she got run away. She got run very far away. Yeah. As the rubber don't day, the baby come the mail. See the baby don't come again. You don't forget back in a day.
You never lose by loving. You lose by holding back. Hello, it's good to have you join us on the maiden edition of the program In and Around. I am Ene Hassan. In and Around is a program that enlightens and educates you. This program will broaden your horizon and make you see things differently. When you talk about lifestyle, culture, business, trending, just name it, In and Around is a must-watch. Today on the show, it's Valentine special. Valentine is just by the corner, and couples are making preparations on how to make the day memorable. Let's begin with this feature on love language. Do you know your love language? This is a background report. We all interact with the world in ways that are as unique as ourselves. It is no surprise then to discover that we each give, receive, and understand love in different ways. According to Gary Chapman, there are 5 ways we express and experience love, which he calls love languages. They are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Experts say knowing your love language is one of the single most important thing in a relationship. When you identify with these love languages, it helps your relationship neat. These 5 love languages are all ways of expressing and experiencing love. Knowing your love language is the key to forming a long-lasting bond and relationship with your partner. That was a background report on love language. For better understanding, we met an expert who further explained love language and its importance.
Are a visual representation of love and are greatly treasured. The second love language is acts of service. Your partner might have this love language if their motto is actions speak louder than words. This love language expresses itself by doing things that you know your partner would like. For example, cooking a meal, maybe breakfast or lunch or dinner, doing the laundry, buying diesel for his or her generator or fuel in their car. These are all acts of love. The third love language is quality time. People who speak this love language of quality time want you to put them as the object of your attention. They want to feel prioritized, and rather than receiving gifts, getting words of affirmation or physical touch, they prefer simply spending quality time, like taking them to watch a movie, walks on the beach, holding hands and staring at a full moon, things like that. The fourth one is words of affirmation. For people who speak this language, unsolicited compliments mean the world to them. For example, I love you. I look forward to waking up every morning next to you. I love being in love with you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for always being there for me. The fifth one is physical touch. Physical touch is a non-verbal love language. People use this love language to let others know that they are valued, that they are cherished. Physical touch doesn't necessarily mean intercourse. Physical touch is a way of expressing yourself to make the other person feel safe and secure, to make the other person feel valued and cherished and loved. I hope that you would take the time and patience to try and find out what the love language of your partner is, so that you will give them gifts or do things for them that they actually value and appreciate. Thanks for spending time with me.
Now that we have a better understanding of love language, I took my time to ask a cross-section of people if they know what their love language is, and these are the views.
My own love language is receiving gifts from my loved ones. I love gifts, as in people surprising me with gifts. It's not easy for a guy to pick into his pockets to buy me special gifts. It means such a guy really loves me so much.
My love language is acts of service. Actually, I feel acts of service has to do with when the person you love or someone who cherishes you very well shows an act of love rather than putting it into words saying I love you. Because for me, action speaks louder than words.
For me, what works for me is you showing it and getting gifts, which is kind of interwoven. Because for me, if a man actually goes the extra mile to do some certain things, buy gifts that he knows that yes, it will definitely affect his pocket. I mean, that's a whole lot. It actually means he loves and appreciates me as a person.
My love language, I value gifts. Because me, I prefer my guy giving me gift than any sexual things. Because no female, based on gifts, I don't believe presenting anything. I will value that gift than any other thing.
My love language is quality time. Well, quality time with my partner, we get to know each other better. We get to spend more time with each other, get to know each other's flaws and how to settle it. We get to understand each other and limit our misunderstandings. And having quality time and attention with my partner makes me like I get more gifts because without asking, you obviously give me something I want.
Valentine season is all about giving and receiving gifts, and one major gift this season is cake. Do you know that there are flavors that go with the season? Well, Mrs. Page on Motorshow throws more light on this topic.
What we'll be discussing today is, the kind of cakes that go with different seasons. It sounds kind of funny, yeah, but there are actually some cakes that work so well with some particular seasons that people actually know them for that season. For example, let's talk about Christmas period. Christmas period is a time for fruitcake. You see fruitcake everywhere you go. Now for Valentine, that's actually different ballgame. What flavor will you think will go for Valentine? Well, if you ask me, I'll say chocolate, red velvet, all these soft, mushy kind of cakes that melt in the mouth, that's so divinely delicious. Then, these cakes, you can pair them with different frosting. We have the buttercream, we have the Swiss meringue, we have cream cheese, we have whipped cream, ganache, so many different flavors. But for wherever, Red velvet pairs well with, let's say, cream cheese and sweet meringue and whipped cream. Chocolate is very good with ganache, as in it's so lovely, so yummy. So all these kind of cakes, we rather suggest you do them for your Valentine. Valentine is even around the corner. You have an idea of, okay, what do I order for my boo, for my bae? What do I get for them? Go for cakes that are really, really yummy, sumptuous, and delicious. Then for celebration cakes, for party cakes and all, you have different types of like vanilla, strawberry. We have sponges generally. They are very fantastic for celebration cakes. Like those are very good to be covered in fondant. But we see people that want red velvet chocolates. As if you can't do them for parties. It's also awesome for parties. For me, Valentine, I will be eating vanilla, definitely, because that's one of my favorite flavors. Then followed by chocolate. Red velvet for me, but we have some people that are diehard fans of red velvet. So for Valentine, let's do red velvet this year. Order red velvet cakes. It's even red. Valentine is red. So go for red velvet cakes with maybe a white frosting. It will really, really pop for your Valentine ideas as in gifts. Then you can actually pair the cake with other things like chocolates. You can get a box of chocolate. You can get bars of chocolate. You can get teddy bears. You can get chocolate, strawberry covered chocolates. You can get brownies. You can just get things that just things you don't regularly get on a good day. All right, so I think that will be all for today. I hope you've gotten an idea of what to order for your Valentine cake.
You now know what flavors to order this season. Love is in the air with Valentine's Day quickly approaching. There is no better time to reminisce about the sweetness of love. These beautiful Valentine's Day quotes are sure to have you feeling all the love.
I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in, follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you. Marriage expert John Gottman can sit with newly engaged couples for 15 minutes or less and predict with 94% success the likelihood of whether that couple will be happily married or miserable and divorced. What is his secret? How does he do it? He says the key to relationship success does not lie in candlelight dinners. It is not found in trips to Paris or horse and carriage rides under moonlit skies. Gottman says the most important factor for a happy marriage is attention. Small moments of positive attention. And as I look back on my parents' failed marriage, I see that it was those little things that eventually became non-existent. We don't know what we have until it's gone. We lose touch with those who mean so much by neglecting the things that are so small. Now look, if you want to book a limousine with a mariachi band inside to take your sweetheart on a helicopter ride, that's fine. But I have to mention, none of that compares to giving your consistent, undivided time and attention. Because lasting love, as Gottman said, is all about the small stuff.
Beautiful love quotes there. February 14th is Valentine's Day. Do you know how this day came about? Let's watch this brief history of Saint Valentine.
There's a true life tale. It's a story that teaches a lot about the true meaning of love, sacrifice, and commitment. In the 3rd century, the Roman Empire was dictated by Emperor Claudius II Gothicus. He was also known as Claudius the Cruel because of his harsh leadership and his tendencies for getting into wars and abusing his people. In fact, he fought so many wars during the 3rd century that he was having a difficult time recruiting enough soldiers. Claudius believed that recruitment for the army was down because Roman men did not want to leave their loved ones and families behind, so he banned all marriages and engagements in Rome. Thousands of couples saw their hopes of marriage dashed by the single act of a tyrant, and no one seemed interested in standing up to the emperor. But a simple Christian priest named Valentine dared to come forward and stood up for love. He secretly conducted the marriage of soldiers before they went off to war despite the emperor's order. In 2069 AD, Emperor Claudius found out about this secret ceremony. He had Valentine thrown into prison and deemed that he would be put to death. As Valentine was awaiting execution, he fell in love with a blind girl who happened to be his jailer's daughter. On the eve of his execution, with no writing instruments available, Valentine is said to have written her a sonnet in ink that he squeezed from violets. Legend has it that his words made the blind woman see again. It was a brief romance before the next day Valentine was executed. Saint Valentine gave his life so that couples could be bonded together. His spirit is still alive. Even centuries after his death, the story of Valentine's sacrifice to love remains a legend. He was eventually granted sainthood, and the Catholic Church decided to create a feast in his honor. They picked February 14th as a day of celebration because of the ancient belief that birds, especially lovebirds, owls, and doves, begin to mate on that very day. It's surprising to know that Valentine's Day is really founded on the concept of love in marriage. On this Valentine's Day, what are you doing to keep the love in your marriage burning? While giving a gift and card, having a candlelight dinner, and sharing special words of love are all important, the true spirit of Valentine's Day needs to last throughout the year.
Love is indeed beautiful. I hope you have a wonderful experience with us. You now know what love language is. We looked at the history of Saint Valentine. We looked at flavors that goes with the season. And you know this season is season of love flavors. We talked about red velvet and we talked about 5 love languages. It's been an amazing ride all through. Thank you so much for being on this show. Thank you so much for watching. From me and my crew, I say happy Valentine.
This love not for you and me. Be my Juliet and I'll be your Romeo, my love. It's the hand of God, now him bring you to me. It's indescribable what you mean to me. Would you be my Juliet and I'll be your Romeo? Would you be my Juliet and I'll be your Romeo? My love, my love. And when the stars come out tonight, I'll think about you, my love, my love. And in the dark I see your lovely eyes. Darling, you are my light, you are my love. Like empty and I will find you everywhere you go. And like Chuck and Jake, our love will never grow old. Please be my Juliet and I'll be your Romeo, my love. Oh yeah, yeah. Would you be my Juliet and I'll be your Romeo, my love, my love. Oh. And when the stars come out tonight, I'll be thinking about you, my love, my love. And in the dark I see your lovely eyes. Darling, you are my light, you are my love. Take my hand and walk with me, my love. Just say what you want and I'll get it for you, my love. Take my all, I give it all and take it back. All I want is your love.